Okay. Hello. Hello, beautiful tribe, people of this planet, beautiful forms of life. Hello. Okay. I hope you're doing amazing as always, and I know like, doesn't matter in what moment you're currently at, whatever you're experiencing in this present moment, I know you'll be okay, and I know that you have the power to activate yourself, to activate the deepest parts of yourself, and to awaken to your true self. So I really want to talk about non-duality and the illusion of separation, the illusion of me. Okay, so first, what is non-duality? What is separation? What is the illusion of separation? Because the separation doesn't exist. And how you can get out of that. So let's start from the beginning. Actually, I think it should be the other way around. I should leave the non-duality at the end. So first, let's talk about this illusion, this huge illusion of separation that comes from the egoic identification with the me. Okay, with the me, with the personality, with the ego. Okay, so I really want to invite you also to check all my videos on this YouTube channel. It's all there for you, all the information. And my journey also, my personal journey of evolution, my personal journey of awakening. Because when I started this YouTube channel, it wasn't like that. I expanded a lot. I awakened to the non-dual existence. And I want to be part of this activation for our humanity and just guide people back to themselves, back to the oneness. Okay, so where this illusion of separation comes from, because the illusion, it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist at the first place. It's all the time one. Pues duality, pues, oh my gosh, pues duality, pues, oh my gosh, if I'll be putting some words from other languages in here, it's just because I'm using too many languages at the same time sometimes, and my mind is already, I realized with 4 languages, I already realized, like, okay, my mind sometimes is like trying to use more than one language in one sentence. So yeah, it happens. Okay, so the duality that I've been feeling all the time before the awakening was very, very strong. Like this contrast in me that it's like this way and this way, this way and this. It's black, it's dark, it's I like it, I don't like it. Me, you. Always two perspectives. Always two perspectives, and balancing those two perspectives, and balancing those two perspectives. And then I realized what this illusion, what is this illusion for? What is it for? What is this illusion of separation for? It's just, it's there because it's there. Maybe I'm thinking about different reasons, but the biggest one what that comes to me is that we are going through evolution, a huge evolution of our consciousness. And what is basically happening now is that people are realizing that they are not separate to other people, that we're all one consciousness, that we are one all the time. And there's this illusion that comes from the egoic identification, right? So at some point in your life, in your existence, you start believing all those things that people told you about you, and the society told you about you, and you yourself told yourself about that thing or those things. And you believed in it. And you believed that you're those things, and you started identifying with those things, and you started having attachment to those things that you are or you're not. So you maybe when there is like this ego identification with something, you get very defensive when someone is trying to trigger that identification, to maybe tell you something else, or maybe trying to convince you that you are something else. You might get defensive, like, no, like, this is me, or this is mine, because it's the ego wants to attach itself to different things and wants to identify with what it is, to understand itself, what it is. It needs to kind of like form itself. It needs to have some kind of beliefs, like, this is me, this is me, this is me, this is not me, and like analyzes all the time. So this egoic self it's mind-made. This egoic identity is mind-made. Because when you identify with your mind, that's where the ego can exist, right? So on your path to awakening, you realize that you have all those beliefs, and there is like this believer, there is a believer, and there is a belief. But you don't realize that you are the believer of that belief. You are not the belief itself. So let's say that if I have a belief that it can be positive or negative, okay? So the ego will always be duality, the mind always will be duality, so it can be something positive, something negative. So let's say something positive, my positive belief can be that I am an amazing sister. I am a caring person. And that is my belief, right? Because I know that I am, but that is also my belief, right? That I am, because it's subjective. Okay? So this belief or can be I believe that I believe that I am a lot of things come to me. I am an amazing writer. Okay, this is a belief. Then there's a belief that the negative, right? Something negative, that I don't know how to drive without two hands. Okay, this is a belief. So I don't know how to drive a car or like a bike without two hands. Let's say a bike without two hands. And this belief I start believing, and it becomes true, right? Because whatever we believe in, it becomes true. So there are things that we are naturally drawn to, yes, of course. But there are also a lot of things that we don't try just because we have the belief that we can't do it. And when you start trying, you change that belief, that negative belief, to a positive thing by trying and convincing yourself that actually I can do it. Actually, I am capable of driving a bike without two hands, which sometimes happens, sometimes not. you know. So it can be any belief, or let's go maybe to a different direction. I believe that I am this body. This is the deepest belief that the ego needs to face. I believe that I am this body, like I am it. But this is only my form, because what I truly am in the deepest part of my existence is the consciousness, not the ego. So if you identify with this personality, you literally live your whole life not knowing who you truly are. You live your whole life believing that you are this collection of thoughts, that you are this collection of concepts, that you are the collection of what you did, what you did not, and what you can do, what someone told you, and you start believing it. So the awakening is all about realizing that you are the believer. You are not the belief, you are the believer. Who is the believer? This is your true self. The consciousness is the believer. So it's all about seeing through all those layers. It's all about seeing through all those layers of egoic identification and just stripping it off and stripping it away until you get tired, until you get tired of having those stories around what you can do, what you can't do, who you are, who you're not, until you get tired of those thoughts that happen to you, until you get tired of those stories that the ego tells you that about the future or the past or different situations about the people, that comes constantly from the separation consciousness. Right? So it's all about just people be just before the awakening, because the awakening is kind of a journey, but the realization itself is sudden. It's here and now in the present moment. It's sudden. And it's all about practicing being in this present moment, in this deep non-dual consciousness, which is all that is actually, because there is no duality, there is no separation. So so just before the awakening, I spoke about it many times on this channel. People go through just a lot of breakdowns and just not knowing who to believe, not knowing what is the truth, and it's just like a mess. Like a lot of people feel depression, and depression is just like being tired of being in the character all the time, being tired of acting from the ego, right? You're just tired of the stories and the limitations. So this phase of feeling like, oh my gosh, depressed, or overwhelmed, emotional, sad, it's just like you don't know what's happening, you don't know, it's like everything is true. Like I had I had a lot of different phases, but it was just like, so what is the truth, right? If everyone just tells you their own truth, what is the truth? And everybody wants to know what is the truth. And the truth needs to be seen through all those layers. You need to go into the deepest parts of your existence. The truth is there. The truth is there that you are the creator. You are the consciousness. You're not the egoic self. The true self is all that is. The true self is non-duality consciousness. The true self is one with everything. And there was never me. There was never me. There never was a separation. It was all the time just an illusion that there is a separation, that there is something separate to me, that this person is created from a different substance that I am created, which isn't true. And it's very it's 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 quite funny. It's quite funny when you go through this realization. But also, I know that the ego loves drama, and life is a drama, and you can still be involved in the drama if you want to, even without living in this illusion of separation. You still can be in the in the non-dual consciousness and observe the drama, and the ego is not bad technically. It's just part of our existence. But you will just feel free. You will feel like you are in the character, but you know you are in the character. You know you are in the character. And because on my path, I'm going to share a little bit about my journey. On my path, I was thinking, if I like theater so much and I love performing arts so much, can I be like, can I feel so awakened and live in the non-duality and still love drama and acting and performing? Even though I knew that this is just an act and this is all just a character. I was thinking if it's like possible, and then yes, I have this realization that in this moment you have the freedom to do whatever you want once you awaken. To do whatever you want, you can create anything you want, and if it makes you happy, if it makes you joyful, then go for it. But usually this part of you that has this consciousness, non-dual consciousness, will always be led more to implementing that in everything that you do. So in my case, I know that it's part of me being here guiding people, because you stop thinking about yourself. It's like you awaken, and then the creation is like wants to be created through you. It wants to be created through you, so it becomes very organic. It becomes what the collective consciousness needs, what it needs in the present moment, what needs to be created in the present moment. It's not coming from the ego. The creation is not coming from a place of selfishness, or it's not coming from a place of ego. Only then it's I want to say only then it's kind of like, because it can come from that place when you're aware of it, it is different. But when you're not aware of it, and the ego is just like constantly not satisfied with the things, or you want to do things because other people do it, or you want to do things because you think it's right, or you want to do something because you have this like egoic need to like prove yourself something, then that's not healthy, right? But if you know that the ego is just there, and you're aware of it when it comes in, and you're aware of it when the character comes, like when you start creating a character, then it's different. When you're aware of it, it's different, right? It's different because again, I was thinking like that, how many actors are actually awakened and they like live in non-duality consciousness. I was actually thinking, how many of them? That's very interesting. Is there a performer that keeps performing after awakening? And I was like thinking about it. It's really interesting, because you already have this wisdom. You already know that what you truly are. You already know your true self. You already know that all those characters are just characters, and Marta is just another character, right? But it's nothing bad. It's my current form, and this form also has its way of expressing itself. So it's not about like neglecting the character, because it's just being aware of the fact that we are all characters, like in a game. We're all just characters, but we are all one consciousness expressed through different forms. And yeah, it was really, for me, it was really interesting thinking about acting, or acting after awakening and being in this non-duality, because it just reminds me of words that I heard from Alan Watts, is that everyone is deceptive, that everyone is deceptive, because what is happening inside is different to what we are showing sometimes, that we are acting. That's called acting, right? Life is a drama, life is an act, and it's nothing bad. It's nothing bad with it. It's like your inner self, your true self is consciousness, is the observer, and it's as if you're acting, and you know that you're acting, and you catch yourself like, like, I know I'm behaving like that. I know I'm acting, and it's funny, and it's so funny. It's very humorous, and life is humorous. Life is a drama, and that's how I see it. But the thing is that this drama happens not always from a non-dual consciousness. So what is not serving the humanity is the drama. How should we call this drama? This drama that is not awakened drama, I would say. This is a drama that is like before the awakening of the humanity. And this drama is coming from the ego all the time. This drama, like when you see people fighting, or when you see people being triggered constantly, but their ego gets triggered, or when you when you just just observe this drama, is like, how do you know if this person is creating this drama because they like drama, or because or because they actually are identifying with the ego? And that's something really interesting, because I am I'm like a bridge from art to spirituality, and for me art is a beautiful beautiful way to awaken. That's why I also always was really into art, and I love expression, because art is so liberating, and it's so free, and it allows you just to feel. Painting, it's dancing and music and everything. It just allows you to be in the moment, allow the creation to flow through you, and just let it be. And it's like you leave a part of you. You leave something from this present moment on a paper, or on a video, or on with a sound, with a music, right? With an instrument, whatever. It's like you leave a piece of you in here, and it's so beautiful. So I feel like I'm this bridge. Like I know a lot of artists that I don't know a lot of artists that are awakened, but I know artists that art is always very liberating. So being an artist doesn't mean you're actually illuminated. So there are a lot of artists that use art to express themselves, but it doesn't mean they are illuminated, right? It doesn't mean that art is always done by people that are awakened, but it's a way, like everything else, like any practice. And we all have our journeys. We choose different practices to awaken, but the goal is is the same. The goal for every human being is the same: illumination, non-duality, awakening, spiritual awakening, realizing that you're a spiritual being and having this physical experience, this form currently. So I see on one hand a lot of artists and then spiritual teachers, right? But I've never come across, nobody comes to my mind. I've never come across someone who would be a spiritual teacher, but at the same time an artist. Well, it's all one. It's kind of all the same, right? So, for example, Alex Gray for me is one of those artists that really come to me. That is an amazing artist that lives in a very awakened dimension, incredible dimension, and he also shares a lot of spiritual wisdom, right? That is high conscious art. So that's what I really would love to talk about. High conscious art that is very high vibrational. It's illuminating art. Okay, so art should serve us. So should serve us to awaken. Should serve our illumination. So yeah, there are many beautiful artists that definitely are in this high vibrational frequency, creating really awakened art. So it doesn't matter what kind of art it is. It's not there to judge. It's just me talking about this integration between art and spirituality, because what spirituality is in actually union between science and art. When science and art come together, it's spirituality. It's oneness, right? So you can see that in sacred geometry. You can see that in sacred geometry that all that is, which is the source, which is the spirituality, the spiritual aspect of us, is the combination of order and chaos, of creation, creativity, and numbers, which are also very creative, but very like order and chaos, art and science, logic, intuition, science, logic, art, intuition, more like expression that comes from intuition. And when the spirituality comes into place, it's all about oneness between those two. So it's about Trinity. It's realization that you're body, mind, and soul. And you're the third point, the observer between the inside world and the outside world. The observer of the body and mind, the creator of your experience. So that's the sacred Trinity. Illumination, guys. Illumination. It's all about, once again, non-duality. About this realization that the inside world comes together with the outside world. They come together. The inside world with the outside world. It's all one. There is no separation. There is no me. There never was a me. There never was a me. There was just an ego and the identification. But that wasn't your true self. That is just a character that is played with other characters simultaneously, by oneness, by one consciousness, but by all that is the creator, right? The absolute. Wow. Wow, so beautiful. So beautiful. So, in order to awaken, which can happen sudden, because awakening is sudden, is a deep realization. And then anytime the ego tries to again, thoughts, stories, you're already, you're identifying it. You're just, you know that it's another story of the ego, it's another thought of the ego. You're already the observer of all those thoughts and stories. And you no longer attach yourself to the story, to the belief, okay? To the emotion, to anything. So the key to be self-realized, to live in a non-dual state of consciousness, is to be present. So you can have a lot of different practices. However, those practices are not the goal itself. They are just helping you being present. So yoga, like all the world is doing yoga now, and it's so amazing. So yoga is a perfect way to reach alignment. However, it's not about attaching ourselves to the practice, to the how. We need to get illuminated, enlightened. It's just because the moment you attach yourself to some future result, to some path, you immediately have expectations. You immediately miss the present moment, because the enlightenment is being reached in the present moment only. So if you think that, oh, if I do this, I'm going to get awakened, or if I'm going to do that or that or that, whatever that is, I'm going to get awakened or get out of the separation, is already a trap, because there is no separation, there is no future, there's just this present moment. You are a pure consciousness in the present moment. There is no future, there is no right path to enlightenment. It's just this present moment, and the more you try to fight that present moment by expecting some results from any practice, it's already you're already a step away from this realization. So it's again ego trying to convince you that there is something that you can do to be whole, complete, and live in a non-duality. Because you're already whole and complete in this present moment. And those practices, yes, they are helpful, they're amazing. Art and all those, and yoga and dancing and painting and singing and music, everything is so activating. Working with the plants, whatever that is. Mosquito. Whatever that is, whether those are psychedelics, which are super healing, any plant medicine, right? It doesn't matter what you choose. It is activating. I'm not going to say that no, it wasn't. It was super crucial on my path as well. Those are tools. All those things are tools. But you can reach this state of consciousness without all those things, okay? Because again, the moment you think that this thing is going to make you feel whole and one with everything, it's already pushing you into the wrong direction, okay? Wrong. There is no right and wrong. It can actually help you. But I hope you get my point. So you can still have those practices after this realization, awakening, which can happen in the present moment. It's all about being here and now, here and now, here and now. There is no me. There never was a me. I am the believer. I am not the belief. Okay, you are the believer of your own beliefs, or you're not. You're not your beliefs. But anyways, it is all you. So whoever injected this belief in you, it's all good. It's all good. It's all part of the one. Okay. What else they want to say? So be all here and now. The soul that you are, the consciousness that you are, is already whole, is already one. So the soul doesn't need any fixing, any healing, nothing. It's already complete. It's all here. It always was here. You as a consciousness, as a soul, you were always whole, always one with everything. Just the illusionary me convinced you that you're not, that there is something wrong with you, or maybe you need a healing. And yes, there needs to be a work done. I see it as like it. There needs to be a work done in terms of our body and mind connection. That's for sure. Because one awakening has nothing to do with it has nothing and has, because I want you to understand something. Spiritual awakening has nothing to do with your body mind condition, because you can awaken spiritually and live in the non-duality, and your body can be in a very terrible condition. But also it can be the other way around. You can be in a perfect body condition, super healthy, super just like positive and really enjoying life, and just healthy in any aspect you want to take it as healthy, and not be spiritually awakened. So do you understand my point? It's like those two can go together, but not necessarily, because there are a lot of people that know how to manifest from their mind. They know how to take care of their body, but they live in a separation consciousness. They live in a separation consciousness, which doesn't really exist, as I told you, but they live in the ego, in the illusion of the me, which doesn't exist. So, and on the other hand side, I saw spiritual teachers that, like enlightened people that really have a terrible condition in terms of their body. And I know there is no good and bad and right and wrong. However, that is a reflection of something. That is a reflection of how our humanity functions. So I talked about taking care of our body and mind here on this channel many times. And for me, it's this integration between living in the non-dual way, getting out of the illusion of separation, and at the same time taking care of our body and mind connection, because there can be still a lot of trauma in the body, like the body still has a memory of experiences, or maybe you pick up on other people's energy and the environment and everything. Maybe something affects you in the body, because body is intelligent, body will always feel. So you can feel still in the body different things and live in the non-duality. So non-duality doesn't mean your body and mind is in a perfect condition. So a perfect condition is when you actually do take care of your body, when you actually do understand the hydration, which is my purpose being here, integrating all those things together. And hydration is a super important part of the awakening, because you come back to the wholeness, you come back to the oneness. Okay, that's why I talked about water consciousness and the guidance received from the water consciousness that we receive all the time from the water, I should say. And also like really deeply hydrating yourselves with the alkaline structured water. So this is part of the activation. This is part of the activation, integrating all elements, right? Taking care of your body, mind, understanding the manifestation, but not attaching yourself to those manifestations. And guys, I really want to invite you to explore my planet. I wanted to say explore my planet. That is actually my planet, to be honest. When I first created this channel, it was Planet Love. I called it, my email was Planet Love, which was attached to the YouTube channel. And I feel like I am creating Planet Love. So, YouTube channel, YouTube channel. Yes, it is my planet. It is my planet, my beautiful channel. This is my channel. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. So, there you go, there you go, there you go. You already know what is the ego. You already know how to stop identifying with the ego. And perfect, there you go. Do you feel more enlightened? Do you feel more aligned? Because I do, and I really want everyone to feel this alignment. That's so amazing. Okay, perfect way to spend those human moments. Yeah, I invite you to be here with me and expanding with me and receiving a lot of guidance. I really care about your enlightenment. Thank you so much, and I enjoy this beautiful day.